Shalom. I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. I want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say peace, mercy, and blessings to all the hopeful elect. The true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, which means he exists, that he is to be. The true name of the Son is Yahushai, which means he is the deliverer. We are the Hebrew Israelites, right? And there's 12 tribes. Today we're being called by bywords and proverbs to mock us, to keep us at the bottom, and ultimately to conceal our true identity. All right, the so-called Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Latin Hispanics, blacks, Jamaicans, Haitians, right? We're those people that make up the lost 12 tribes of Israel. And the self-proclaimed white man, Caucasian, European, they are the Edomites. They're Esau, Edom, Idumea, Mount Seir, who you read about in the Bible. And according to Bible prophecy, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob was the beginning of it that followed it. All right, which Jacob's name was changed to Israel. So Esau world is ending. Okay, and Yahweh Shem Yahushai is getting ready to send his son back and give Yahushai the kingdom. All right, and the Israelites are going to rule forever. Okay, and the elect, the 144,000, the 1/3, they're going to be as joint heirs with Yahushai and putting the planet back in rightful order. Okay, and all these prophecies are coming to pass, and the Most High is shortening the days. This is from Band.video. It says, watch Trump make nightmare announcement. War with Persia is imminent. The clock is winding down to the final second before a major Israeli strike with nuclear weapons. Okay, so I'm going to play some of this.
While other networks lie to you about what's happening now, InfoWars tells you the truth about what's happening next. Infowars.com/show.
It did start. I mean, think of what happened. Inflation, you have the war with Ukraine and Russia, that wouldn't have happened. October 7th would have never happened. Israel, they had no money. Iran had no money. Iran was stone cold broke, and now they have a lot of money. But then that's going to be the next thing you'll be talking about is Iran. What's going to happen with Iran? And there'll be some interesting days ahead. That's all I can tell you. We're down to final strokes with Iran. That's going to be an interesting time. And we'll see what happens. But we're down to the final moments. We're at final moments. Can't let them have a nuclear weapon. I think that I would have had a deal within 1 month after the rigged election of 2020. They were all set to make a deal. And then when I lost, they saw this person who's a stupid person, very stupid person. And they said, let's not make a deal. And they were right. He took the sanctions off. They became rich under Biden. They went from having no money to having $300 billion. All in a short period. It's oil. Oil builds up fast. It's a nice living if you have a nice oil well. And they do. They have a lot of nice oil wells, right? So anyway, it's going to be a big thing. It's an interesting time in the history of the world. But we have a situation with Iran that something's going to happen very soon. Very, very soon. You'll be talking about that pretty soon, I guess. And hopefully we can have a peace deal. I'm not speaking out of strength or weakness. I'm just saying I'd rather see a peace deal than the other. But the other will solve the problem.
That's right. So many countries.
Okay, so that's all I'm going to play. Right. Again, if you want to watch the video, it's on Band.video, and that's the title of it right there. But yeah, he said a lot. Pretty much he said they're done talking. And you're gonna be talking about what's gonna happen real soon. Okay, so Iran, all right, plays a major part in biblical prophecy. Okay, so in 1935, the Persian government changed the name of the country from Persia to Iran, the historical name of the country and designation in common internal use for centuries. The new designation at the same time distracted attention from the traditional Western designation, Persia. So when you hear about Iran in the news, that's Persia, according to the Bible, right? And there's some key major players in prophecy: Persia, Russia, and Iran, course, and then also you have China and the different NATO and EU nations. Okay, but the major, and also the least of the flock, Amalek, the 1948ers. But I would say those are the top four key nations in prophecy. All right, the West and the whore Babylon the Great, the least of the flock, the 1948ers, Persia, which is called Iran today, and Russia, right? And it's through those nations that all the other nations are going to be dragged to the Middle East, and it's going to have the third woe is going to commence, right? This is from Ezekiel 38:1. And the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. So the Most High told Ezekiel to prophesy against the landmass, right, that we today is known as Russia. And it's inhabited by Putin, okay, and those different leaders over there are Edomites. Now, of course, you have Israelites scattered amongst them as well. You know, they blend in well because they look like them. They may even sound and dress like them. Israel is a scattered nation, but predominantly, that's Esau in rulership, right? 3, and thus said Yahweh Shem El Shai, power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen. So right now, you see Russia has pretty much got all its attention trying to devour up Ukraine, But something's going to happen to where the Most High is going to draw them out to the Middle East to protect their interests that they have in Iran and those different allied nations that have allied themselves to Russia. Okay, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. And this, the Russian military possesses the top nuclear arsenal on the planet. Okay, they possess the top nuclear arsenal on the planet. It even surpasses that. It even surpasses that of Babylon the Great. Okay, the missile defense systems of these other nations is not going to stop if Putin decides to hit that button, and ain't going to do nothing. Right? 5, Persia. All right, look at that. First nation in names, and these are allied nations. It says Persia, which we just broke down to you how that's Iran, Ethiopia, those are Hamites, and Libya, which the modern day landmass of Libya is mainly inhabited by Ishmael, right? Look at Libya on the map. That's northern Africa, right? So that, of course, Hamites are amongst them and Israelites as well and other nations, but predominantly that's Ishmael. Ishmael conquered Egypt, Libya, and those different parts over there, right? So when you read about Persia, that's Iran, Ethiopia, Hamites, and Ishmaelites, Libya. With them, all of them with shield and helmet. 6, Gomer and all his bands. The house of Togarmah of the North Quarters, Turkey, is going to get involved too, right? Actually, I believe it might have been last year, maybe a couple of years back. Time is speeding so fast. We had these 3 key leaders link up. This is prophecy. Okay? Russia, Syria, Turkey, and Iran. So Syria's going to get involved too, and it makes sense because they're right in the middle. All right, hold high-level talks in Moscow, and this is from March 10th, 2023, so that's a couple of years back, right? Meeting with President of Iran, Hassan Rouhani, and the President of Turkey, okay? So there you go. That's Ezekiel 38 right there, man, okay? Prophecy is being fulfilled right before our eyes, okay? 7 says, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia has that spirit of being a guard over Turkey, Syria, Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, and all these other nations. It's going to happen, okay? And actually, we're witnessing it happening right now. Okay, now the West, Babylon the Great, okay, keeps fucking with Iran. And you heard Trump, they pretty much lost patience with Iran trying to reach a nuclear deal. And you heard him mention the oil, you know. And that's what Esau's after, because that's what he's about. Him being the hammer of the earth. He's all about going into these other nations, taking the natural resources, oppressing the people, and putting in puppet leaders. You know, this is Genesis 27 and verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept, right? Because you can say, you know, you can say that Esau stole the birthright, but really, you can say Jacob stole the birthright, but really Esau sold it unto him, you know. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. So the Lord is going to come a time, in history that this man will be given rulership on the earth. He'll be given a heaven, a rulership, a kingdom. Okay, we're seeing that playing out with America being the greatest country, 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live. We're seeing that playing out as America having the greatest military, or once having the greatest military. Different branches thereof: Air Force, the Marines, the Army, the Navy, the National Guard, right? Green Berets, their top elites, branches, etc. Right? And by thy sword shalt thou live. So this man lives by the sword. There's this is called The Roman Empire of the Edomites by William Beeston. This is the one I'm reading out right now. This is where I found the quote from Elder Cotto. This is page 27, right? It says, And by thy sword shalt thou live. And they were quoting, the blessing that Isaac bestowed on Esau in Genesis 27. The Romans were perhaps the very people of whom it might justly be predicted that they got their living by the sword. War, said the elder Cato, is the business of the Roman people. So that's Esau's business, of war. So there's not going to be any peace while this man is in rulership, right? In fact, when you go to Revelation chapter 6, it says that, he was given a great sword to take peace from the earth, right? Genesis 27 verse 40, And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. 41. And Esau hated Jacob, the Israelites, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. So he has a natural, deep hatred for the tribes, And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. So now let's go back to 39. Let's read this again. And Isaac his father answered unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. So now with technology and knowledge increased, this man has satellites, he has space stations, he has a space force, he has fighter jets and different vehicles, right? So he has the fatness of the earth. So now let's look up the word here for fatness.
Strong's H 4924. Mishman. Mishman. Second entry. Shemanim. Shemanim.
Okay, so the Hebrew word there for oil, I believe, is shaman, right? Excuse me. The Hebrew word there for fatness is shaman, which is, I believe, is oil. If you look at number 2, it says oil, olive oil. And he just mentioned, how in 4 years, the Persians, they just got like $4 billion richer. So whatever their motive is, Esau going to try to, attack Persia where the tensions heat up between, the least of the flock in Iran, or they just want to go in there to try to get their oil. When they do that, understand that Russia is going to get involved. Okay, and it's even a quote from Donald Trump. It's from Daily Observer. I'm just going to read right to the point. It says prophets say world will come to an end in Middle East. Trump, but that's exactly what the scriptures say, right? Let's get that. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. So when we go out to prophesy on the highways and hedges, we ultimately the message of repentance and the warning is for the Israelites. But we're talking to all nations, and we're proclaiming war and vengeance upon Esau and all you other nations. All right, and we're letting you know what you're getting ready to do. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Yeah, get ready for World War III. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. And let the weak say, I'm strong. So, going back years ago, these nations who were once weak, who once wouldn't dare speak out against the violence and the atrocities of Amalek and Esau, they're now they're calling Esau a bully. They're now talking shit about Esau, man. They don't want to deal with him.
مذاکره میکنن. مذاکره اونها برای حل مسائل نیست، برای تحکمه. مذاکره بعضی از دولت‌های
It says Iran leader rejects Trump's letter demanding nuclear negotiation. Okay, and what it's saying.
بعضی از دولت‌های قلدر
He's calling the West a bully, which they are a bully. The scripture calls them the hammer of the earth, and they live by the sword. So yeah, they are the bully. They're the big bully on the block.
اصرار به مذاکره میکنن. مذاکره اونها برای حل مسائل نیست، برای تحکمه. مذاکره برای اونها راهی است، مسیری است برای طرح توقعات جدید. مسئله
So they understand. They understand if they lay down their nukes or they make any type of covenant or contract with Esau, that it's going to be broken and it's going to leave them defenseless. Because that's his playbook. He's not changing up his playbook. He did that to Israelites. So what will make the Iranians so different? So people are starting to see the shit, Esau. Right, you're being made bare. Right, this is Psalms 55 and verse 20. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. Right, we could go all the way back to the Native Americans, the tribe of Gad, the tribe of Reuben. Right, all the covenants that was made. He broke them all, and he made war against the tribes, slaying women, children, elderly, infants, men. He didn't give a damn to take this land. And he'll do the same thing to these other nations. 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, so that's how he's going to come. He's going to come with those smooth, buttering you up ass words. But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil. That's what he wants. He probably wants that oil that Persia has, man. Yet they were drawn swords, right?
هسته‌ای فقط نیست که حالا راجع به مسائل هسته‌ای صحبت کنن. طبقات جدیدی رو مطرح میکنن که این طبقات جدید از طرف ایران قطعاً برآورده نخواهد شد. راجع به امکان دفاعی کشور، راجع به توانایی‌های بین‌المللی کشور. فلان کارو نکنید، فلان کسو نبینید، فلان جا نرید.
Right, they don't want them meeting up with different leaders of Turkey and Russia and Syria. As we just saw, there's a picture with Iran, the leader of Iran, and those different leaders. So alliances are being formed.
چیزا تولید نکنید، موشکتون بردش از اونقدر بیشتر نباشه. اگه کسی میتونه اینا رو قبول کنه. مذاکره برای این چیزاست. بعضی از
دولت must told Trump to go fuck himself. Excuse my French. But that's pretty much what they're saying. Back in Joel 3 and verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen. That's dealing with the other nations we just saw. Turkey, Syria, Iran, Russia, Amalek, the West, the different leaders of the nations, and gather yourselves together round about. Literally cause the mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh Shem El Shai, Let the heathen be wakened. You look up this word waken, it means to be incite to violence. So they don't have the spirit, whether they don't care if they live or die, you know?
Strong's H 5782. Or. Or.
Which means to rouse oneself, awaken, to rouse oneself, to be roused, to stir up, to be excited, to be triumphant, to act in a roused manner. Awake. So the other nations are waking up to Esau's bullshit, okay, and they're ready for war, right? Joel 3 and 12. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh Shaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. That's in the Middle East. So the Lord's going to draw all these nations to the Middle East and judge their ass. Right? This is an article. It says Trump claims nuclear weapons are the greatest threat to humanity. It's from March 10th. Okay, this is recent. Right, log back in. It says the U.S. 47th, all right, Mr. Trump, has declared nuclear weapons as the greatest threat to humanity. Trump downplayed the threat of global warming while focusing on the immediate dangers of weapons of mass destruction. In an interview with Fox News on Sunday, Trump stated that climate lunatics predict minor sea level rises over centuries, but ignore a threat of nuclear war that could happen tomorrow. They talk about global warming, and they say the ocean is going to rise 1/8 of an inch in the next 300 years, and nobody ever talks about nuclear weapons, he said. I watched former President Joe Biden for years say that the existential threat is from the climate, and I said, no, the greatest is sitting in shelves in various countries called nukes. There are big monsters that can blow your heads off for miles and miles, Trump argued. Okay, Trump proposed global disarmament on Thursday, saying that all nations should eliminate their nuclear arsenals. He pointed out that the U.S. and Russia currently hold the largest stockpiles, while China is rapidly expanding its capabilities. Trump called for talks of denuclearization, emphasizing the crazy power of these weapons. Recently, many ruling classes have suggested their citizens prepare for a nuclear disaster or a nuclear war, right? EU warns citizens to prepare for a nuclear disaster, right? So, which that's Bible prophecy too. It's prophesied that this place will go out in the fashion of Sodom and Gomorrah. This is Isaiah 9 verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. So these different, wars like from the medieval ages and, from the Greek Empire, ancient Roman Empire, they were fought differently. All right. But here 2025 and they're onward, the warfare is advanced. There's something called modern warfare. See, now nations possess drones, they possess intercontinental ballistic missiles. They have submarines with nukes on them. So it's an advanced warfare. It ain't going to be like an ancient war battle that you would see on the movie Braveheart or something, But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. This war is going to be waged with burning, okay? This is going to be waged with weapons of mass destruction, just like they call them with nukes, okay? So it's no wonder they want to try to denuclearize the world. But you think the West is going to denuclearize? Hell no. Okay? Because they need to maintain that control. This is Isaiah 54 and verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. That goes back to those German scientists, Operation Paperclip, Robert Oppenheimer, There's a quote by Robert Oppenheimer. Okay. It says, which he's quoting a Hindu god. He says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds," quoting the Bhagavad Gita after witnessing the first nuclear explosion. And that's Esau, man. He is as death. You know, it's Isaiah 54:16. I behold, I've created a smith that blow the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth the instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. And that's Esau. He's the waster. All right. And the Most High created him to destroy. All right. And there's going to be great destruction. The destruction is going to be so great that this landmass is not ever going to be inhabited again. Right. Back in the article, according to a report by RT, Trump pointed out that the U.S. and Russia currently hold the largest stockpiles of nukes. China is rapidly expanding its capabilities in an effort to grow its own arsenal. Trump called for talks on denuclearization, emphasizing the crazy power of these weapons. In response, Moscow claimed it could be ready to discuss arms control with Washington. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov underscored the necessity of such dialogue for global security and suggested that European nuclear powers such as France and the UK should also be included in these talks. Peskov said that it's impossible to just overlook European nukes in this dialogue. It says, Iran did not respond favorably to Trump's suggestion for nuclear disarmament talks, as we just seen or heard. And the West is seeking to use negotiation over Iran's nuclear program to assert its dominance, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said on Saturday. According to a report by RT, Trump's comments come as he threatened to use force against the Islamic Republic, right? So they're not trying to hear that. This is from Al Jazeera News. It says, bully, Iran's Khamenei rejects Trump's demand for nuclear talk. So this is what's happening. This is where we're headed. Okay, this is where the world is headed. The world is headed for war, and it's going to go nuclear. Okay, it's not. This is why they have a doomsday clock, right? This is Revelation 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. That's World War III. It's coming quickly, right? This is Jeremiah chapter 50. I'm going to jump down to verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Modern day arrows, because we're in modern day times with knowledge and weaponry has advanced and increased, the modern day arrows are the nuclear missiles. Right? And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil shall be satisfied, said the Lord. 11. Because you were glad, because you rejoiced, O you destroyers of my inheritance, because ye have grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellow as the bulls. Your mother shall be sure confounded, Britain. All right, because as is written in Revelation 17, these 10 shall hate the whore, shall eat her flesh, and shall burn her with fire. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. 13. Because of the wrath of Yahweh Shem Shai, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she had sinned against Yahweh Shem Shai. So all these nations that possess nukes are going to use them against the West. That's how bad it's going to get. And we see, what the 47 is doing. This is Isaiah 24 and verse 20. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. So that's going to happen when the nukes drop. It's going to cause a very strange reaction. It's going to literally cause the earth to rock to and fro, right? This is 2nd Esdras 16. I'll get right to the point. 2nd Esdras 16-13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Okay? More. It's another clue that's talking about nukes, right? It's another article. Why does hardly anyone seem to realize that we are literally on the brink of war with Persia? Not in no time of peace, man. Right? What do you think Persia is going to do once we start bombing their facilities? They know that it's coming, and they have been preparing to respond. When Persia missiles are raining down on small hat targets and Babylon military bases throughout the Middle East, there will be no turning back. We will officially be at war with Persia. Needless to say, a war with Persia would be far different from our wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Persians have the 8th largest military on the entire planet, and they are armed to the teeth with highly advanced missiles. It would take a shock and awe campaign that is unlike anything we have ever seen before to subdue Persia, and full-blown regime change would probably require an invasion. Most people simply do not realize how close we are to an apocalyptic scenario in the Middle East on Friday. President Trump revealed that he has issued a very chilling ultimatum to the Persians. All right. Mr. Trump said on Friday that he revealed that he sent a letter to Persia warning that it can either make a deal with Washington, D.C. on its nuclear program or face the U.S. militarily. I said, I hope you're going to negotiate because it's going to be a lot better for Persia. Trump told Fox Business Maria Mornings with Maria in reference to a letter he sent to Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei. There are 2 ways Persia can be handled, militarily or you make a deal. He said, I would prefer to make a deal because I'm not looking to hurt Persia. Subsequently, the 47 informed reporters that were gathered in the Oval Office that something's going to happen with Persia very, very soon. The 47 said on Friday that something related to Persia is going to happen very soon. We have a situation with Persia that something going to happen very soon, very, very soon. They'll be talking about that pretty soon, I guess, right? And that's the video, we just witnessed. Trump reporters at the Oval Office, and hopefully we can have a peace deal. He added, I'm not speaking out of strength or weakness. I'm just saying I'd rather see a peace deal than the other option, but the other option will solve the problem. Okay, so, it's a kind of a lengthy article, and we just watched the video, so I'll get a couple more precepts, then I'll end it. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, or going further down in 50. And verse 22, a sound of battle is in this land and of great destruction. 23, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? The hammer of the earth is the whore of Babylon, speaking great nations, speaking great things, the mouth speaking great things, oppressing the other nations. How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? 24, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and art also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh Shem Yahushai. 25, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, had opened his armory, and had brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Right? Let's go into that nuclear destruction. It's Jeremiah 49. And 17, also Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by shall be astonished and shall hiss at the plagues thereof, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah. and the neighboring cities thereof, said the Lord. No man shall abide there, neither shall the Son of Man dwell in it. Right? So with that, I pray this has been edifying and informative. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rekakwadash. Again, giving double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who we learned this truth from. Peace and mercies, blessings to the elect. Shalom.